All right. So thank you guys all again for being on the class today. Mondays are generally used for more of our entry level classes here to Command. And so it is perfect you if you are a new agent. But every time I hear more experienced agents, every time I hear more experienced agents get on these calls, they say they're learning things every time. And so hopefully everybody can pick up something from today. All right. So to get started, I just wanted to show you guys campaigns is going to be over here is the megaphone in command. One little tip at the beginning, if you're new to command, is click on the red KW at the top and you'll see all the different names come out. So it's a little easier to navigate until you get to know some of the buttons just by the look of the button. You can actually see what they say instead of having to hover over and wait. So we're in the campaign section, just the megaphone. And you can see when you click on that, it drops you right into the dashboard. Now, to really utilize campaigns, one of the first things that you want to do is actually set up your connections that you can see over here, connected accounts. And you can actually jump right into the page that does so by clicking on manage. So we'll do that just so you can see. You can see the different ones that I already have connected. And if I want to go in and connect a new account, I can do that right from here. And then if I actually want to go in and make those changes or connect those accounts up front. So if you're new, this is a great place to start. Go into your settings. And if you've watched the orientation video, this is in there as well for the newer agents of what you should be setting up over here in the settings section. But it's going to drop you into the applications page. And if you scroll down, you're going to see two different Facebook connections. And so make sure to connect both of those. It'll just make sure everything is good to go if you plan to run ads or just posting to Facebook like I'm going to show you today or at first. So if you scroll down, you'll see the other Facebook one in here. When you connect one, the other one generally connects. You just might have to manage it and connect the certain page you want to run the ads through. Uh, Google AdWords, if you have that account, you can set it up here as well. We're not going to be going over the Google stuff today, but if you have questions, please make some time with me. I'd love to set up time and help you set up your Google AdWords if you'd like to, if you're using that kind of marketing or would like to use that kind of marketing. And there's some other stuff in here to connect that I definitely recommend. And of course, Twilio. Today, we won't talk too much about Twilio and smart plans, but if you are planning on using smart plans or just planning on mass texting groups of people, Twilio is a must. All right, so let's jump back into campaigns. So definitely before you can post to Facebook or anything like that, you have to connect your Facebook. So that's why that is definitely a step one in campaigns. We're going to talk about another step for emails that you'll need to do as well. That's really simple, but we're going to talk first about social posts. They are one of the simplest things you can do in Command, and KW actually makes material for you guys to post pictures and written content. And so there's a few ways to go to get to these to get to these posts. And so if you scroll down on the dashboard, you're going to see this quick post menu down here. There's always going to be a neighborhood video, which I suggest anybody go in and explore, go through and click through, make yourself a neighborhood video, see what they're all about. It's a nice little 1 minute chunk of real estate information for specific neighborhoods. So you can check those out. Doing those quick posts are great. And then you see that there's other material in here that if you click the shuffle button in the right corner of that big box, we can get different pictures and you'll see the text is shuffling as well. And I usually just focus on the pictures here and I find a picture that I like. Let's see. And these are just if you want to make it kind of easy. And I'm just going to grab this one with the woman leaning back in the chair. I click the green button, which will then prompt the new social post to pop up. And you can see that there's already text in here. And so if I don't like this text, I can change it by clicking the shuffle button here in the corner again. And I would just pay attention to the picture that you're using and it makes sense with the text. Some of them go together with anything, some of them are kind of specific. Brace your airspace. This is more about the airspace. They change these also about once a quarter. And so you'll see some new content in here. It might even be more often than that now. But you'll see new content coming in here. If you'd like to just upload your own picture, of course you can by just clicking on this one here um, or clicking to close that one, browse your design library, and you can pull in a picture from in here. Let's just grab this one. Command is always a little bit slow on Zoom. There we go. I'm going to choose my wide profile. And there we go. I can switch the picture out. I could change this text myself or use the text that they have. Lots of different options just to make a really quick post if you'd like. Then when you scroll to the bottom, you can choose Facebook and what pages you'd like to put that on. You can publish it immediately. So if you just like to hit schedule post and have it post right away, you can do that, or you can schedule it out. And so that's a really handy feature in here is that you can schedule these posts out, do them all at one time, and then you can really see all the different posts that you have. But this isn't really the best screen to do that from. We'll actually do that from the social post screen. So remember the same way I just got there, dashboard, and then I just scroll down to quick posts. I can also just go over to social post up here at the top, the last tab in campaigns. And you see to the right, there is the same list of social posts that I can do and the same options that I have. But you'll see the left side is filled up with a schedule. So I can actually choose a date and schedule it that way, which makes it really nice. I can look at the week. I can also look at a month. And I can see any scheduled posts that I had in the past. I didn't have any there. Let's see. They just look just like this. You can schedule the exact time that you want them to go out. And so you can schedule multiple per day as well, but you can fill up your whole calendar. I believe you can go up to, I think it'll let you go up to 60 days out to schedule a post. And so you can create your own post as simple as if you don't want to mess with the Keller Williams stuff, you can just start from scratch by clicking green create post over here, or you can see it's also in the top left corner as well, and you can create it through that menu. Wait for my logo to process, or we'll just skip it for now. But you can see the blank template is just everything from scratch. We don't get the shuffle button anymore for the text to come in. It's just whatever text you would like to use. And then you can upload a photo, upload a video, or you can add a link just like you can in Facebook. So if you'd like, I think the link is one of the more underused parts. This is another piece you'd want to set up here is having your app and website set up. Your website is a great place. It's built to look just like Zillow. It has the map on the left, homes on the right. The start, if you look at the homepage for Zillow and the homepage for your website, they look very similar for a reason. People like it and they want to search for homes on your website. And this is a great place to give them that space. They can look there. If they log in, that's what gives you the connection on the back end, which is command. They can also do the same thing through your app. So having that available, especially because so many people are going to be seeing this post on their phone, pushing them towards your app is probably even a better idea than pushing them to your website because it will actually direct them to your app or to the Keller Williams app from your website on their phone. It'll pop up first and say, hey, there's a better way to do this, just like you see other applications do, like Facebook. If you go to facebook.com, it'll prompt you to download the app first. And Keller Williams does the same. So I suggest pushing people towards your app. And you might want to be curious. You might want to know how to get that link. So let me just show you guys how to grab your app link real quick. You do have to set up your website first. Good way to think about it is that your website and your app are really the same thing. They're the same environment to the consumer. One is built to run on the phone, one is built to run on their computer. And so when you set up your website, your app is then set up as well, just like that. A couple things you want to make sure are going on is we're in the consumer page. You're going to click site and app settings. And to make sure that the website is branded to you, you want to make sure that this little toggle switch here at the top that I'm circling with my mouse, use my information to brand my agent site. You want to make sure that that button is green so that your information is being sent to the website. They're using your URL. Now, if you want to know what your URL was set up to be, you forgot what it was, you didn't write it down, you have the URLs tab right in here. And this is also where we're going to get our app link. So you can see here's your subdomain. If you'd like to change it, you can change it here as well. So if you'd like to switch it, you can change it and then hit save changes and it will check to see if it's available. If it is, it will change your subdomain within about 12 hours. And then right here is our app URL. We can copy that link. I suggest that you save this link to your phone so you can quickly send it to people. Just sending them this link will send them to this web page here on a browser. And so they come in here and they put in a cell phone number. It will send them a text of the link to download the app. Now, you should have the app on your phone at this point. If you don't, you'll want to do this exact same thing I'm doing and put your own phone number in and log in. Where is the Oh, here it's prompting me just to download it here. Let's see. Where's the send to my phone part? I'm not sure. Uh, there should be a little part here that you can type in a phone number. They might have just turned that off. They talked about it, but I didn't know it happened yet. But in that case, you would just be able to send them right here, and then they can click this button, download on the App Store. When they do that, it's going to prompt them to download the app or prompt you to download the app. And when you log into the app, you're going to be logging in as a consumer. And you want to do that because this is a consumer facing app. There is no agent login for the application. That is command. Your agent side of it is command. In here, in this specifically, when you see all this part is how you control all the parts of the app and brand it and all those things. And then you actually see the activity of the app for your clients inside of their contact card. Now, to make that happen, you have to have them connected to your app. So when they download it through this link or get it through this link, it's going to make sure to brand you or assign you as their agent. Now, if they get it through a different way, they have the Keller Williams app already and they need to rebrand it to you. It's as simple as telling them to click the More button in the bottom right corner. And then at the top, they'll see their option to choose their agent or to change their agent. And they just need to search for your name and it should show up, which is the same thing you should do when you log into the app. If check to make sure it's branded to you. If it's not, look for yourself and make sure you select yourself as your agent. And you should see inside of command when somebody new logs into the app, you're going to see a notification up here at this little bell. Little red dot will show up and you'll get a little notification that somebody has logged into the app, and you can click on their name and it will go right into that contact card where you can see the activity that they are then doing in the app. So again, I would suggest doing all this yourself with yourself so you can see how it kind of works. It'll add the contact to your command with the email that you log in with. And it's just a good experience to know how it all kind of goes down for your clients. But using this kind of or these links are so powerful on Facebook because people are already on their phone. They're already clicking into this stuff. It's not an ad. You don't have to pay for this stuff. It's just what you can add to your post to add a little bit of value, because that's really what people are even clicking on ads for, is just to look at homes. And so if you can give them that without having to give information away, they are always happy to do so. All right, let's jump back into campaigns. While this is loading up, are there any questions about the social posts, just the posts that we just talked about there? All right. I must have covered everything. Just a note before we move on. Remember, when you are posting to Facebook through here, it's only posting on your business page. It does not post to your personal page. It will only go to the business page that you have set up in Facebook. And so make sure you have people on that list. You're sending out the invites. You're inviting people to like the page, because the only people that like the page are the only people who are going to have the opportunity to see that post. Now, if you want more people to see a post, that's when you go into Facebook ads and you actually pay Facebook to put it in front of people who don't like your business page already. And in fact, it'll send it in front of thousands of people, depending on the way that you set up. And we're gonna jump into Facebook ads a little bit later, but now we're gonna talk about emails, because the emails in Command are great. You all get 5,000 a month to send out through Command for free, excuse me, or included in your tech fee. Don, I saw your comment. Is that any better? All right. All right. I had to turn up the microphone. Thank you for letting me know. All right. Let's see. Where was I at? Emails. So you all get 5,000 every month included in your tech fee in Command. And so it's definitely something that you can utilize. And there's actually some really leverageable content in here. And so the first thing that you have to do is set up lists inside of Command to tell them where do you want to blast these emails out to. You can have as many lists as you'd like. And so all you have to do is when you first log in or first come in here, you'll go to campaigns, emails, and then up here, you're going to see the configure list tab over to the top right. And so when you click on that, that's how you can get into the section to actually build a list to send an email to, or send a bulk email to. Now, when I say a list, um, you'll see my list come up and they'll probably make more sense, but it's just a group of people you want to be able to bulk send an email to. So Keller Williams downtown, you see on that list in there is so I can send an email easily to everybody in the office. Then I have also the ALC and the advanced coaching program. And then I also have a list of leads, any leads that I might want to communicate with in bulk through email. And you can make as many of these lists as you like. To create one, you can just click on create list. It is very helpful if you have your database tagged. Because if you have your database tagged, you can just come in here, pull a tag. Let's pull the beer in a glass tag. Everybody who's in that tag shows up, and you just click on all of them, and it pulls everybody in. If I wanted to then grab maybe another group, let's say, let's grab everybody that's in, should have Facebook lead Broomfield, 3 people in there. So I can take those, select them. Now I have 12 contacts total selected, so I can build this list out. You can also just go one by one if you don't want to have any tags in there at all. Let's see, let's take that one off. And if you want to go and just scroll through your entire list and check people off as you go to build a list, you can do that as well. Just know that when you get to the bottom, you do have to load more if you want to continue, or if you want to get the whole list is usually when you have to do this. Go down and you have to keep clicking until you get the whole bit of them all added. And then you can hit select all, and you can see it can add as many as you need. There is no limit that I've heard of here of how many you can add at a time for people with bigger databases. But you can go in there, name the list, see, and it's as simple as that. Now, these are a group of people that I would want to communicate to or send one type of email to. Maybe in the future, maybe it's right now. I end up using a lot. Maybe it's an area or a price range that you're communicating with. Lots of different ways. Like I said, when you tag your database with some more detail like that, it makes it a little easier to build a list out so that you can get ideas of, oh, I might want to send this to everybody who lives in Lakewood Estates, or everybody in my database who lives in Lakewood in general. I might want to send out this listing that I'm going to have coming soon this week and send out an email to get them a touch. And so well, let's take a look and see how we could actually build an email like a just sold or a just listed email. And so if we want to build an email, we can start by just building the email completely from here, and we'll actually jump into designs, another place you can build the email. We'll actually jump in there through the building the email process, which I think is the easiest. So whenever you want to create a campaign, always up here in the top right, you can see we have the social ad paid, the Google ad, the social post, like we talked about before. Here's another way to get in there to create it. And then we have direct mail, awesome direct mail campaigns inside of Command. If you haven't explored those, great prices, no minimums. You can send one card at a time for as low as 59 cents, uh, postmarked and everything. So great little service there. And then we're going to do email. First thing we're going to do is just name it. So we're going to call this one just sold example. And then the goal that you select here is just purely for tracking reasons. It's not going to change anything about the email that you set up or anything like that. It's just so that you can track the different types of emails that you're sending. So just sold example, I might call that brand awareness. I could call it event awareness or attract buyers. Whatever makes sense for you and however you think about it is fine. It's not going to change anything. So we're just going to do track buyers. And then here you can select MailChimp or Command Email. If you select MailChimp, uh, this is not included in your total 5,000 emails per month, but you only get one list to use in MailChimp. One audience is what they call it. We call it lists in Command. You only get one to send to, which is why I don't use MailChimp anymore. I get enough with Command, and I can have multiple lists to send different groups of people different things. All right. And then all it is, set up campaign, and we'll get dropped right into the email campaign screen. It's real simple here now. The list that you set up, you'll see the list of them right here. And I can choose whichever one I want. I'll choose my sphere here, DIPS. And then I just write a subject. We'll do just sold. Check it out. And then down at the bottom is where we can select the content for our email. And this is really where Command has started to shine in the last few months. Keller Williams has been busy. Here at the top, you can see we have KWRI templates. where they have been filling out this with lots of great templates for you all to use. I'm going to just take a minute to talk about some of these in here because there's a lot of variety in here than for beyond what we're going to talk about today, but definitely worth some time to explore. So you can see here there's a great buy versus rent, and these top ones up here are all canned. They're already filled out. They're ready to send out to some out to your sphere for to your leads. There's different plans, but definitely go in and look at them, read through them, because like I said, they're already ready to go. A few of them do have some edits. You have to go in and change an area or something like that to Denver or a neighborhood or something that's appropriate for your database. But you see buy versus rent. There's seller lead conversion 1 through 4. Also seller or buyer lead conversion 1 through 4 emails as well. It's kind of walking them through the process and trying to get them to communicate with you. And then there's all the wonderful holiday ones. There's Happy Thanksgiving, Valentine's, New Year's, holidays, spring, all these different ones. And then the trick is to load more because this is only showing 16 of the 41 that we actually have available. And so then you can go down, you see, then they have a few generic ones. They have 3 different types of the generic ones. They have approachable, modern, and classic. And I think they're even expanding those. I think they're going to add a couple more like motifs like that. They all say the same thing, look ish the same. It's mostly just a font change, a few like positional right left shifts in the alignment of text. It's not huge changes, but you'll probably like one look over the other. So check them all out. But you'll see a basic just listed, open house just sold, featured homes, and a base. Or I already said basic, but you'll see all those different ones for with those different styles. So let's take a look at the. I like the modern one the best, to be honest. Usually the emails you see from me communicating with you guys about classes, things like that, all go through a modern basic one. So let's find the modern. Let's see. We'll do a just listed. Let's do a just sold. Let's take a look at the just sold template. And so you can see in here, it pulls up this email. It kind of looks blank right now because nothing's really been filled out. But what we can do is if you want to get a better idea of what it looks like, click the eyeball at the top. And then you can see this is really what they'll see when the pictures are loaded in. Um, you put in some pictures, you can put in more information, add text boxes, add pictures if you'd like. All of that is available to change if you'd like. You can set where this view more listings button goes to, which I would suggest again having it go out to your website so they can look at more homes or directly to that home if it's a just listed, where they can actually see it and see that it's listed online. But it pulls in my picture, it pulls in all my information, it pulls in my app link to download. It gives all this information down here at the bottom. It just sets it up really nice. It still, of course, will put the unsubscribe information at the bottom there in the email that the client will see, which is good. It covers it's a nice CYA for us, but it's a really great way to set up different emails. Let's see if we can just peek into another one real quick. Um, let's see. Let me show you guys real quick just how to edit a picture because it's not immediately obvious. So if you want to change this picture to a listing picture, you're going to click on the image over on the preview pane, which I'm over here in the preview, and you'll see I'll get this little pencil. Whenever you see the pencil in command, it is your universal symbol for editing. So if you want to change something, look for a pencil in command. So we click on that pencil, and to the right in the edit pane, we can see where we can replace the image, edit this image, put in the alternate text, which is what shows up if the image fails to. And then you can also put a link into the image, which I think is great, where you can link this. So many people just want to click on pictures when they see it. This is where you put a link to a landing page, or you can just choose a web address. And of course, I'm just going to send them to, my website or to the right to the listing on my website. I'm always going to use my website of where I'm sending these people in an email because I just want them to be there. I want them to log in. Any chance I can get to get them in my environment, that's the point of all of this, because it's kind of that we can be digitally top of mind when we can see every listing they take a look at in our app and know exactly when and where and what listing. And so it's awesome stuff. A little big brothery sometimes, but sometimes people need that in real estate to know that they're not missing out on something when they should be buying or selling. But it's real simple. Once you get in here, guys, editing the pictures, replacing them, You're going to come in, add images. It will save all the images that you put in, but it sorts them really awkwardly, so it's never very helpful. You can also pull images in from a listing. I'll tell you, it's been doing this to me, where every time I click that button, it kicks me out and I have to start my campaign over again. So I would not suggest using that button right now. That's a good one for the YouTubes. All right, we'll see if we can get command back into its fighting shape here. What's going on, command? There we go. All right, let's try it again. All right, JS example. Let's do a track buyers command email. And we're going to send this out to DPS, and we're going to select just sold. So you can see there's the template that we just edited. It did save the work that we did, and I can come in here and start it over, but I figured this is a good opportunity to show you guys just another one. So let's load a couple more. And let's see, there are a couple down here as well that you can use. Promote My App is a nice one. But let's just take a look at the modern open house. I like this one a lot. Now, you don't have to use these templates for what they're labeled for. Uh, I use this open house template probably more than I use any other template for most of my emails that I send out, just because it looks nice. It has a lot of little spaces, and just the look of it I like all these little headings and the text colors, and so I'll use this as a template for a lot of things. And so I think, it's a great one to use for you guys. Just a single picture, uh, heading, and that's it. And then a button down here, you can change. Buttons are the same as pictures. We click on them, we click on the pencil, and then here we are over to the right where we can edit the button text. We do need to select the link of where we want to send it to, so that's an edit you have to make. It doesn't automatically do that. So you're going to send it to a web address. We could pull, like I said, if I wanted to just grab a listing off my website as an example of how to do that, oh, that should go to the same place. I'll pull a listing in here for you. So then we can also show you guys how to send a test email as well. So I'm just going to type in Lakewood, bring me into Colorado. So I could also just send somebody to this page here. A little trick about command when you get your web page going up, if you want to create a save search, a link that somebody can go back to in the future, say this map exactly as you see it. If you wanted to see what was listed here in a month, uh, all you have to do is just take this, copy it. So I'm just right click and copy, open a new tab, and then paste that link in there. And when you go to that link, that does kind of an archiving to Keller Williams, where it's going to save this search for the future, this exact map. If I would have zoomed in the map 2 more times, it would have had that as the saved map. Or if I would have put a boundary around another place or removed the boundary, it's whatever you're saving. Or if I would have changed one of the parameters around the search criteria, any of that, I can save that search and recreate this. And then anytime somebody went back to the email, they could click in and see the updated information for that search. This is one thing that you use for ads all the time. You'll use this for, like I said, putting these kind of links onto your Facebook pages so people can search search open houses in this area for the weekend. You can do a quick settings over there, save the search just like I showed you, share that link on your Facebook page, and people can go to that and they can go back to it in the future, and it'll give them updated listings for the next weekend and the next weekend if they are, or they do have to be marked in the MLS as having an open house. It doesn't pull information from anywhere else, so it does have to be in our RE Colorado or surrounding MLSs. All right. And then last but not least, the text. I will be 100% honest with you all. Editing the text can sometimes be a pain when you're doing this. And so my suggestion is to edit your text in a word processor first, like Google Docs, like Word, like anything else that's not this, because it formats things really funny, and sometimes you'll even have some issues with the formatting of your text. And so edit it inside of a word processor and then paste it in here. I find it best that if you click use inline text before you paste it in and then click done, the formatting tends to work out more how I expect than if I don't do this. And so if you do run into any issues here, please feel free to reach out to me. Um, reach out to me and I can help you out a little bit with getting through this process through here. And so the last thing I wanted to show you all in here is if you're editing an email and you want to see, well, what is it actually going to look like when I send it out? A lot of agents want to know that. So click on options at the top. Of course, you can see the preview. You can also just send this email as a test email. Select an email that you want. Let's see, I'll just send it to myself. And then it usually takes about 5 or 6 seconds, and then the email pops in. Let's see, I don't know if I have a window open with that. Oh, came over into my promotions folder. And there's my test email. And so now you can take a look and see exactly what it looks like. Let's check this to see if this worked. Oh, I don't think I put it in there. I did not. Let's see if this one works. All right, and so you can see at the top, it's the same page that we were going to before. There's my little app code at the top, so it is linked and correctly sending them out to this page, exactly what I want them to do. Great video on the app too. Definitely. It also, this web page looks much better on a phone. I will admit that. The desktop doesn't look quite as nice. When you see this on a phone, it looks much, much better. And I would say the same for these emails. I think they look great on a desktop, great on a phone, but it's definitely built for a phone. And so keep that in mind when you're looking at how long your text is, just because on a phone, this can, especially at this font size, can end up being looking like a really long email if you only have, even though you only have maybe 2 paragraphs. Can look long. So just be aware of that when you're sending these out. I send a test email to myself every time just to make sure that the product is what I expect it to be when it comes out, that I didn't make any mistakes. And so like I forgot to link the view listing button in this one. And so I can come back into campaigns in here and I can still come in and edit those things now that it's still live. That email just sends out and exactly whatever it is. So let's just drop in this search right here. Actually, let's drop in a listing. So we're just going to grab this URL here at the top and drop in this listing here and make sure to hit done up here. I forget all the time to hit done. If you click out of that pane and click over to the preview pane and click onto something else, it's not going to save those changes. So make sure that you click done at the top and just work slow through here and it should work out fine. Let's see. Any questions about inside the editor before we get out of the email editor? Are there any questions about being inside here?
I just have one, but not related to this, but not related to this. I see that you have recording it. Where can I see it again? I come late to the meeting. Sorry.
They're all on the Keller Williams YouTube page, Gil.
Okay.
I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link to get you on the page.
Oh, please. Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Not a problem, buddy. All right. Any other questions? All right. So let's hit save and exit here. And when I hit save and exit, that's actually going to choose this template. And you can see now it's actually loaded into this email campaign to send out to the list that we selected. We have our subject and we can see the email preview over here. We can save this as a draft. We can also schedule this, which I love. So if you know you're going to have something go live on the 1st of February and it's a coming soon, and just stay in compliance and make sure that you have everything within the timeline, you could pre-schedule this email and have it go out exactly when you want it to, down to the timing. So you can actually set the time of day that you want it to send out to this list. And so that's a really powerful feature here. I love that. Or you can just click send and it sends it out right there within the next about 10 seconds to all those different people. And so email campaigns, I love them. I use them every week inside of Command for one reason or the other. It will take a little time to set up your list, but once you get some stuff going in there, you'll be right on your way. And the more emails you do, you'll see that it saves each email template. So if you make a bunch of changes to a Keller Williams template, remember that's being saved now as your own template where you can start again with that one and just make the small tweaks, and you don't have to go back in and put all the button links in and the picture links into your website. All that stuff can be saved, and then you can just say change the text of your newsletter and keep the rest of it the same, and just build your newsletter every month and just change a few bits of text and a few pictures and send that every month. Or you could schedule 3 of them right now if you had that much content to give out, and schedule them out like you just saw me do, one per month, and just do that once a quarter and knock out your your newsletters once a quarter. It's all possible with Command. Um, all kinds of good stuff. I love emails. If you guys, the email part of Command. Little side bit too, all of those designs that you guys just saw can all be implemented in Smart Plans as well. And so that's a huge bonus there where you can pick and choose. That's where those more set of 4 different buyer lead conversion and seller lead conversion plans are really more meant for Smart Plans, and putting them into those pieces of your pipeline. And you can do the same thing of building out nicer emails for your other Smart Plans that just look really nice for leads or for birthdays or for anything that you guys really want to do. It's I mean, it's expanding more and more. I can't wait to see what else they do this year with all the stuff inside of emails and Smart Plans and these campaigns. All right, any questions about emails? Then we're going to get to Facebook ads. All right, all right. So everybody's favorite is Command Facebook ads. And so you can check out the Facebook ads in the paid ads section. I do want to give a little disclaimer before we go any further with Facebook ads. I think Facebook ads are fantastic. You can get a lot of information for people to contact and get into your database really quickly for a pretty good price. Now, I want to just set an expectation with them that they are not, they are not leads in a way that when you call them, they're like, oh my gosh, take me out right now to go buy a home. They're, if you have that expectation, you're going to probably end up scaring those leads away, because most of those people, on average, by the numbers, close on a home from when they come in as a lead to when they actually close on a home is generally 9 months. And so you have to have that in mind, knowing that that's the general life of a Facebook lead that are coming in at this level. Now, these leads, they are plentiful and they are cheap, but you do have to do work to convert them. And so I'm going to be, I'm only going to spend about 15 minutes telling you guys about setting up a Facebook ad, because I do love doing these. I think if you're interested in running Facebook ads, let's set up your first one with me. Let me do that with you, and we can set it up, go through everything, make sure it's perfect. And then we can publish it together so that and you're confident that you're getting it right and you're not wasting any money there. We're going to go through a pretty basic one. And if you guys want, I'll tell you guys now, send me an email after the class if you want a list of the targets that I'm going to talk about and show you guys in a completed ad. If you want that list of targets that I use, that a lot of people in Keller Williams in the tech side of things use, I'll be happy to share that list with you. Just send me an email to remind me to send it your way. I'll be happy to do that. All right. Now, paid ads in here, real simple. We can see the dashboard that we're looking at here just tells us all the ads that we've ran in the past, completed, drafts. They all show up here because I'm showing all. We can edit and change what we're looking at here, change our goals. Goals are very similar like before, where they don't really change anything. They're just more for tracking and organization. Same thing here. They change like some ability to move text or to suggest text, but that's about all they change inside of here. So let's take a look in how to create a Facebook ad. And so if you want to create a Facebook ad, of course, you have to have that connection done beforehand, like we talked about at the beginning of the class. But we're going to go right back to the create a new campaign button. And now we're going to click on social ad paid. It's going to prompt us the same way it always does. Give us a title, or give it a title. And so we're just going to put SB class example. Now, just when you name your ad, I would say make sure that you can look at that ad and you know exactly what ad it is. Because when you get a lead, the first thing you're going to know about that lead, besides its name and phone number and email, is you're going to know what ad they came in on, which is important information when you're trying to convert. when you're trying to put a smart plan or knowing what smart plan to put them on, because I build a smart plan for each campaign that I build, and I tailor it so that search that they go to and all that is specific to the area of where my ad was running, so they can see more homes in that area. And so I'm going to have a smart plan ready for that. I need to quickly know, if I just look at the name of the ad, I need to know what ad are they coming in on, if I'm running multiple, whatever. So the address or the type of ad are always just smart to put into the title. Here, we're just going to use FB class example for you guys here. And we're going to call this one an event awareness. Now, the only one that you don't want to select in this option is advertise multiple listings. This will change the kind of ad you can run and what it will look like significantly. This is one, if you're curious about this kind of ad, I'm happy to go over it with you. It's not worth everybody's time to go over it with everybody in a class. But if you're curious, we can talk about it and I can tell you about this. This is not a lead form ad, so you're not getting leads from this kind of ad, just FYI. The rest of them, though, all it's going to change is there's some suggested text that they'll kick in there for what you're selecting here with, uh, nothing that I worry about because I generally never use it. So if you would like to search or look through it, just select these different ones. Like I said, you can change it afterward. If you'd like to switch it to a different thing, that's fine. But let's just jump in there and let's attract buyers. And we're just going to talk Facebook ads today. If you're going to set up Instagram ads, you can run them simultaneously, same ads through two channels, same time. I don't have much success with it doing it that way. I would suggest you can run them on Instagram, but just build your ads specific for Instagram, specific for Facebook, specific for Twitter. And I think you'll have a lot better luck. But we're just going to focus on Facebook today since it's just the basic class. And honestly, most of most of the agents getting all the success that you hear about all happens through Facebook. So let's set up our campaign. So setting up the campaign is pretty simple. It's going to bring in your DBA logo to keep you compliant. You have your text section. So we're going to have all our different editing sections over here to the left side now. And over to the right is our preview pane. A quick suggestion is to switch this to mobile. This will give you what it should look like on a phone. So you can assume that most people will see these ads on their phone. And so then that helps you adjust your text correctly. You have 250 characters to use. I would suggest maybe using the recommended 125. The point of that is that's about how many will show up until your text gets cut off, and you get the ellipses at the end that they have to click more to read the rest of. And keeping it in the mobile preview will help you see what it's going to show and what it won't show. Main copy, I generally go with the number one number one simple advice is use emojis. People love emojis, and ads with them do better. It's the data tells us. And so use some emojis. I usually do a headline, maybe one or two facts, and then a call to action or a call to click to see more pictures or click to see inside. I do a similar thing for the headline. Know that you don't have the emoji button here like you do in the text, but you are welcome to use emojis in the headline. You're just going to right click into, if you're using a Mac, you can right click and just click onto the emoji and symbols option. If you're using a PC, God bless you and good luck. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry. No, I think you guys have the same option if you have a more updated PC. Your description. So if you're running a lead form ad, one that's actually having them submit their information, the description does not show up and you don't need to put it there. If you're running a non-lead format, one that they click on and they get to go straight to the landing page without submitting information, then you need a description of telling them what the website is going, what they're going to. You need to tell them the information or just a little bit about it, which is simple. You have 250 characters. Generally, I just put in there something about seeing more pictures of the home, the area that it's in, just adding a little bit more text. They only get to see about a line of it or two. So you don't have to be super detailed there. Again, that's only if you're not running a lead form ad. Most people run lead form ads when they do Facebook ads in Command. The ad media, you can select up to 5 different photos to run through here. Again, you can choose a listing at the top and run it through the listing, and it'll pull in all the listing photos through the MLS in here. You can bring in your own photos, upload your own from designs, and then you can also do video ads as well. The neighborhood video we mentioned right at the beginning of the class, you can pull one of those in or create a new one. You can choose a video you already have in designs, upload another one, or embed a linked video. So you have all kinds of options in here for media. Now, when I run an ad, I run one picture on the as the front of the house. That's it. It's almost always the ad that I run, the ads that I see run the most successfully. It's something very simple. It could even be like a view off of deck and, advertising something in evergreen. I've seen ads like that do really well. But simple one picture ads seem to do better than ones that have the carousel. Now, I say experiment, go crazy. We can set up lots of kinds of A B tests for you if you want to do more than just that and stand out in some way or do some testing. And I'm happy to do that stuff with you guys. And it's all really simple to do. But if you just want to get started, one picture, throw in the picture of the front of the home that you just listed, and see how it does. You'll be surprised at how many people just want to click on it to see how much does it cost and what does the inside look like. And if they're willing to give you a couple bits of information so you guys can chat about real estate, perfect. So that's really the easy part of the ad, is setting up the first part. And then the Facebook ad options are really where you have to pay attention. So I'm going to make sure that this part is where most agents screw up and they say these don't work and they don't get any leads. And it's because they make a mistake somewhere on this option. So the first thing, number one, is we just select the correct page. It will generally pull up all your pages. If you have multiple business pages, you'll see multiple options here, like you see on mine. So make sure you select the correct page. Next, number two, this is where most people screw up. They select this option here, because if it's your first time that you're going through this, it's going to be defaulted like you see it now, where it says use a site or landing page. And when I talk about an ad that does not ask them for their information, just sends them right to the site, this is the kind of ad that will do that. Use a site or landing page, will not ask them for their information. Handy to use. I run it on every listing I do, but it's not going to get you leads in the way you think it will. If you want to get leads sent to you from Facebook, you're going to use the Facebook lead generation form option right here. If it's the first time you do this, a window will pop up and you're going to have to verify some stuff for Facebook to say, yes, I agree to use your form to get people's information. Once you do that, you can go back in here to command. When you select this button, it will then stay selected, because you'll notice the first time when you click it, it will unclick and then that window will pop up. So if it stays clicked, you're good to go. But that's the option you want. If you want leads to come in, the button that you choose does not matter. Most people use learn more. It's just whatever makes sense for your ad. Your destination URL. Like I said, my favorite one to use most of the time is either just sending somebody straight to the listing page that I'm advertising so they can look at it, or I'm sending them to a saved search that I've created, like I said before, where we copy and paste it into a new link. We're just going to use this one and throw it in there. Make sure you don't double up on HTTPS, delete that out of there and then paste in the new one. And it will think for a second. And as long as you get that green check mark, you should be good to go. Simple enough. All right. Last step is targeting. If you don't want to mess with targeting, don't. Just let Facebook and the Keller Williams Pixel do their thing. Let it go. If you do, which I suggest you put in the targets that I'll send anybody who sends me that email, I go in and do the interests, which really help with making my ads a little cheaper. They get a little more in front of the people that are kind of interested. And so up here, you can go from 15 up to 50 miles. I usually sit in the range of 20 to 30, depending on the ad. That generally encompasses most of the Denver metro area. It is a radius, so it's a circle that's 40 miles wide at 20, a radius of 20, and so it gets a good amount of the metro area. Like I said, but sometimes I am running ads in different places, and you can always run ads in different states as well if you know that there's a high transition between somewhere like California or Alaska or something like that. You can also run ads there. But the interests are really where the power comes in. And so there's a whole list of interests that I use based on each of these. If you hover over them, we'll just talk about an interest. You'll see that the description of each interest just says people who have expressed an interest in or like pages relating to blank, which we add interests like Zillow, and we add interests like Trulia, and we add interests like renting, and we add interests. There's a whole list of them, like I said, that we put in here because people who are interested in those kind of pages, interested clicking on those kind of links, those are the people that are probably interested in wanting to move whether that's a buyer or a seller. Because if they're curious about homes and they own one, the first thought is, oh, I really want to sell my home. Their first thought is, oh, I want to go look at new homes to buy. And so if you're looking for sellers, most professional ad agencies just say just look for buyers. If you want sellers, look for buyers, and a good amount of them will be sellers. And so running these ads, I'd say run them to buyers, or just as if you're, trying to get buyers to click in, because a good amount of them will be sellers too. But I'll send the list to people. If you don't have my email address, um, it's just my first name and my last name at kw.com. Let's see here, but that's it. That's the part that most people mess up, is really that simple. Um, Going in, I would say if you're going to do your own targets, you can go and explore the list and do your own. I would not add more than like 20. You can add a lot in there, and sometimes you just oversaturate by adding too many. The duration budget is really simple. You just choose how much money you want to put into this ad. So if I want to do $60, okay, that's how much total I want to put in. Well, if I want to run that for the 10 days it has defaulted to, from tomorrow into the 5th, which would be 10 days, that would be $6 a day. I generally run my ads for between $5 and $10 a day, depending on the length and how much my spend is. If it's just, if it's a, if it, I would not say, I would do a weekend. That's the shortest ads I ever run, is through a weekend. That's usually when you get your best results. So I'll run a Friday to Monday shortest, which is 4 days. So usually I'm running ads for $20 at least. I find the best results. The sweet spot seems to be in like $8 to $10. I generally get quite a bit of leads where I'm, $100 spend can easily get me 50 to 60 leads, spending $100 at $10 a day. And so the thing is, you got to be ready for that kind of lead follow up if that's what you're doing. The nice thing is you can actually turn off command ads, and you can see how much you've spent on them as the time goes each day and through each day. And so if you pause one, it will actually, if the ad finishes without you turning it back on, it'll refund you the money back into command that you didn't spend, and it'll drop it onto the next ad that you do. And so if you do find yourself being overwhelmed with leads because you're like, holy smokes, I'm getting too many, you can pause the ad and take care of the leads that you have. And then you can either turn it back on if it hasn't timed out, or you can always duplicate them. And so just so you guys don't leave without an example, I did want to show you guys an ad that I ran here. This is an ad from one of the um, listing agents here in our office at Keller Williams downtown, Carlos Escobar. You can see this one pulled in leads for $1.11. It was $40 spend for 5 days. So you can see that one, $8 a day on that. And let's take a look at the ad real quick. And so if I want to just take a look, I'm just going to duplicate my campaign and customize. I could just run it if I wanted to just, have Facebook just redo it and send it out again. But if I want to actually take a look, I have to customize it. And you'll see that there's not much to them. I use a really simple ad text. Like I said, it's really short, simple, to the point. You can see 141 characters. Let's see what it looks like in the mobile feed. Real simple headline, the description in here. This one, I do have it in here, but it doesn't even get shown because this was a lead format. Again, I just the picture of the front of the home. That's all I ever like to use. And then the Facebook ad, we can see lead form. And here's the targets that I use for this one. So they're really simple: Zillow, Realtor, Trulia, mortgage loans, calculator, insurance, house hunting, custom home, renting, FHA, vacation rental. And then that's it. It's about 15 targets that I use. And then, like I said, the setup was really simple. It was 5 days, $40, $8 a day, and produced leads at just over $1 per lead. And, this is nothing special. This is the first ad I ever ran through this account. And because of that Keller Williams Pixel, it's just really powerful. And you can just jump in and start with ads that can perform at this level. When you're ready, you can jump in, take a look at those leads. And if you were at my class last week on Wednesday, we actually talked all about how to convert leads from here and into smart plans and into tags and all that. And so now you can see it's even easier. You actually can just select the ones you want to. And at the bottom, you get this little menu that you can add to Smart Plan directly. You can add to tags or you can archive. I like adding to tags because what I actually do is I trigger some of my tags to fire off for these smart plans. And so I can just add the tags one step, and some of the tags actually trigger smart plans onto these leads. And so, like I said, that's a class that you'll have to catch on the YouTube channel. That hits me right at about an hour right now. And so, if you do need to go, I understand. But if there's also any questions, I will stick around for another couple of minutes with for anybody who has any questions about what we talked about today. All right, then. In that case, I am going to call it. You guys all have a great day. Look for this on the YouTube channel. Go and subscribe. I hope you guys have a great day. Schedule time with me. I will see you all soon. Bye bye.